this country has this romantic connection. It romanticizes white supremacy. It does. If you engage in terroristic action, if you commit felonies, the government will say, not a big deal. Misdemeanor, $500 fine, keep it moving. Well, now a federal judge has called out the federal government for what she calls a schizophrenic approach as it relates to those who committed acts of terrorism against the United States of America on January 6th. Let's put up a picture. I like this judge. Let's put her up. She looked like she don't play the radio, okay? Let me tell you what she said. Last Thursday, the chief federal judge presiding in DC criticized the January 6th prosecutions as being almost schizophrenic, saying the event's horror did not match the plea offers involving minor charges. That's you damn right. And we've been saying that since day one right here on the show. And people across this nation and beyond have felt the same sentiment as this judge has now said. Now, in our criminal justice system, judges do not have the right, they do not have the authority to affix additional charges. That is up to the state, that is up to the prosecution. Okay, so this is a rare repudiation from a sitting federal judge, but this judge has said it. She said in court last Thursday, and I quote, "No wonder parts of the public in the US are confused about whether what happened on January 6th at the Capitol was simply a petty offense of trespassing with some disorderliness or shocking criminal conduct that represented a grave threat to our democratic norms. Let me make my view clear. The rioters were not mere protesters." Wow. While she and other judges have expressed similar concern before, this was the chief judge's first time sentencing a rioter and her first chance to fully air her views and demand answers from prosecutors. She took the opportunity, spending over an hour interrogating prosecutors on the decision to let Tennessee video game developer Jack Jesse Griffith plead guilty to a misdemeanor for parading inside of the Capitol. Why, she asked, when prosecutors called the riot an attack on democracy unparalleled in American history, were Griffith and others and other participants facing the same charge as non-violent protesters who routinely disrupt congressional hearings? It seems like a bit of disconnect, the judge said, muddled and almost schizophrenic. The parading charge carries a sentence of at most 6 months with no supervised release. Okay? She knows why. She's quite aware, okay? Ms. Khan, I think you know why as well, because I guarantee you their last names would have been Muhammad, or if this would have been Black Lives Matter, the government would have treated them as terrorists, as violent criminals, and you would not see these kind of plea deals happening routinely.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really sad what's happening in the country now, where something like the January 6th insurrection could happen, and there's still debate over whether or not we should even be calling it an insurrection. When people that we elected to protect us and to rule and govern on our behalf are calling these people who attacked them personally, directly them, calling them tourists and protesters, peaceful protesters even. And it's really disheartening because you almost don't expect justice to be enacted anymore. You see something like this, you see the proceedings, everything is so obvious and it's laid out, it's blatant. Everyone knows what it is. I mean, recently I even had a guy, I was talking to him, he's a Trump voter, and I mentioned something about the Muslim ban back when Trump first got elected into office. And this guy, white, upper middle class American Republicans, said very matter-of-factly to me, it was not a Muslim ban. And I was like, everyone who looked like me knew exactly what that was. Everyone, it's not your place to tell me what that was or wasn't. So we just want some justice. We don't want to have to keep explaining ourselves, explaining these obvious points. So.